YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy Xerxes coming back at you with another one. This is gonna be an exploding ballista totem falconer build. So I played a judgment paladin for a while. The playstyle was honestly just pretty boring. So I was like, you know what? Let me try this falconer out. So I leveled a falconer, played a bleed bow falconer to get through the levels, and then I came across a build that was a dive bomb focused character that I spent quite a bit of time leveling. I probably leveled from like 80 to 99 using that build, and the damage is fucking insane on that build. I'm not gonna lie. I saw a video by a guy named Chadley on YouTube. I'll link the video that I'm talking about down below because that build is absolutely insane for pushing monoliths and being able to kill bosses at the same time. So if that's what you're looking to do, I would recommend that build. Gets a little bit boring playing that after a while. I just get bored playing builds, so I wanted to try something new. Came across a video from Palsteron that was this exploding totem cold build, and that's what I'm going to showcase for you today. Just full disclosure, I didn't come up with this. Like I said, I got this from Palsteron. So we'll run through a monolith, and I'll show you how the build plays. No, not super high corruption or anything. I'm working on getting like all of my corruptions kind of up right now since I just started gearing this character. But the mapping and like running through monoliths with this character is just fucking, it's so much fun. You literally just like blow up entire screens. Not very button intensive either. You literally just pretty much right click, drop your totems down, and they do the rest. So far all I have done in this monolith is just shift and right click, and that's it. What is that? Ooh, that is nice actually. We're gonna keep that. I posted something on the last Epoch Reddit page actually. I think it was like the first time I ever posted anything on Reddit really, but I really wish that they would let you respec your mastery. It just seems kind of silly that you can't go and change it. Like I want to play a marksman, but I would have to re-level an entire new character. I'd have to go all the way through the monoliths again, and it's just like, it seems really silly, like as a concept, because I think that they would maintain more player retention if they allowed players to easily play different builds. You know, that's like in PoE. Once you get to the point where you're pretty far in a build, if you like, you know, say you're playing a Slayer and you want to go and give a Gladiator a try or something like that, all you have to do is spend some regrets and go through the labyrinth, and then you can, you know, completely make a new character. Here, I would have to go back and start from scratch, and so that's the monolith done anyway. Kind of rambling on here, but you know, if I wanted to make a marksman, I have to go back and literally start from square one. So like, I just don't understand why they can't make it to where you can change your mastery. You know, make it cost like 50,000 gold or 100,000 gold or something. Like I would absolutely pay that much to be able to skip going through campaign and be able to play a different mastery. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. So I guess we'll just run through like one more quick one here, and I'll just like speed run this one so you can see. I kind of like rambled on a little bit in that one, but as you can see, like the clear in these monos is absolutely insane, and I literally didn't like min-max like play or whatever. I was like just literally running around talking, right? But you just go around, drop some ballistas down. If you they will explode if they get killed, but I think you can only have 3 at a time. Yeah, so I think maybe it's 3 maximum. So what you can do is just like spam it, and they'll just blow up once you reach the limit. Oh, what do we got here? We'll take that. I already have all of those other ones with more legendary potential, so we'll leave those there. Yeah, so as you can see, there's 1, there's 2, and then I think when I drop the 3rd one, they blow up, right? So you can just go around and drop them every once in a while. Once you reach the limit, they'll blow up. And there's just this huge, cold AoE explosion that just nukes everything on the screen. It's pretty nutty. It's fun, too. I love it. Can be a little cancer, like on the eyes, but honestly, like, it doesn't bother me at all. And that's that echo done. Okay, so I'll probably put a link to Palsteron's like video, because that's what I watched in order to build this down below. So you guys, if you want to get like more thorough, in depth on the guide or on the build, you can check that one out. And then I'll put a link to that Chadley video down there too, just because if you're playing a Falconer and you haven't tried either one of these builds, you 100% should try them because they're super fun. But I'll just quickly go over, kind of like the skills that we're using. If you guys want to just pause the video on any of this and look and see, where you should spec them. I'm not going to go like in the order of what you should do because I honestly don't even really remember. But in here, you're pretty much just going for Rapid Pursuit that gives you mana back. One of the things that you need on this build is mana regen. So as you can see, my mana regen is at 20 right now. I would say like 18, 17 is probably like the bare minimum. You don't want to play this without that much mana regen, just because you can get to the point where you spam a couple of these and it costs a lot of mana. We can get mana back by shifting and using our Falcon and dive bombing and shit. So you have to hit enemies for that, but you'll get your mana back pretty quick. But just know that mana regen is something that you should be looking out for. Okay, so dive bomb. I'll show you the tree here. Pretty much the mana is big there, and then some armor shred here. What is this? Falconry. Big one here is that you get mana back, right? You get a percentage of your crit chance, which we're at 100% crit chance, so your Falcon's going to get 75 here. Just basic stuff, This one is very important as well, that you get the 16% kill threshold. So once an enemy gets down to 16%, you basically just hit your button and it'll insta-die. I really like that in last Epoch too, that they have the percentage of health right there so you can see exactly when you need to do it on a boss. Shift, we're just basically using that. We can get some cleanse ailments. If we start running some higher corruption stuff, ailments will wreck you, right? So be able to cleanse ailments is really nice. And then we get some healing, some mana, dodge rating per dexterity, which is actually pretty big, right? So as you can see, my dodge is at 21%. It goes up to 82% for a little while after I dodge, and after I shift, and we have shift up pretty much on a very short cooldown. So we're shifting all the time. So I'll let you take a look at this. And then this is where the bread and butter comes in. So very important here. A couple of things. You ideally want to get to level 25 with this. So in my inventory, you can see I'm wearing an Apogee that gives +3 to cold skills. And that's partially why we switch our Ballista to cold, which is this right here. So it gives us +3. But on your gear, you're going to want to get a piece of gear that has +2. And in those 2 slots, copy everything here, but you want to put one more in here. So you're 4 out of 4 there. It's just more damage and more area. And then you want to put the last one in here. And then that covers the Ballista. And here will be the Smoke Bomb. Smoke Bomb is just for like some armor shred, some frailty, glancing blow, basic Smoke Bomb stuff. Okay. That covers the skills. Let's go through the items. Something that's pretty much mandatory on this build is Morning Frost. So this is going to give you flat cold to your attacks at the cost of losing Fizz and Cold Res per point of dexterity. So you're going to have a lot of Fizz Res and Cold Res on your gear to offset this. I got one with 2 LP and hit movement speed and dex, which was like the dream. So I'm very happy with that. Let's see here. The Relic, I just got some Poison Res, Crit Multi, Dex. You obviously want as much Dex as you can manage in this build. And then, like I said, you want to stack Fizz and Cold to offset the downside of the Morning Frost. And then same here, I got some health, minion damage, throwing damage, just with a Poison and Cold Res base, because that's a really good base for resistances. Gloves are okay, I guess. I think I sealed the health and then kind of tried to get Cold or Fizz Res on there, but I got Void Res, so those are okay, with some Necro Res on the Implicit. And then these were actually pretty solid rings that I was able to make. I made this one, and then I had a couple runes of whatever they're called where you can just basically mirror an item, and so I just mirrored this one so I can get the mana regen, minion damage, Ellie Res, Fizz Res, pretty solid there. And then in terms of the shield, you want to try and use a Cradle of the Erased. This one is pretty bad. I've just been like leveling them up to see if I can get something better than the one that I have been using. The one that I have been using, I think I have a few of them. This one is very good for block chance if you want to like cap your block chance. So I'm at like 40, 60, 75, 88, like 88% block chance with this one on. But block effectiveness is actually something that you would want to search for too. So I think the one that I've been using is this one here, maybe. Reduce damage taken on block, block effectiveness, damage reflected. Yeah. So I've just been hunting for these, but just try and find a good combination of mods that you can get on a Weaver or on a Cradle of the Erased. So that covers all of the bottom gear right here. This is actually what I was using on my other Falconer build. Just really solid with health, Ellie Res. The Ellie Res sucks, you know, because I ran out of forging potential, but sealed the health, got increased health, got dex. It's a pretty good chest, but those are the things that you're looking for: increased health, any reses that you can get, stuff like that. For the apogee, this is, like I said, we're using this because it gives us 3 points into our cold skills, which our Ballista is a cold skill. And then I think on here you want to get like minion bow damage. You might want to look at Paulstron's video to see exactly what he recommends. I have only one with 1 LP so far, so I haven't even been bothered to try and put LP on it yet. And then this one is just absolute shit too. I just happen to have like a double exalted one with some health and necrotic riz, and I haven't found a better one. This is probably like the shittiest piece of gear that I have. You could definitely get +2 to Ballista on here as well. And then the thing that pretty much makes this build function is this amulet right here. So this is the Soul Gambler's Fallacy. You get this by running the Soulfire Bastion dungeon, which is these ones right here. So you run through this, and then at the end there's a gambler, and you basically just gamble souls for amulets, and it has a chance to drop this one, which is this is the only place that you can get it. You can't get it any other way, and it basically just means that you have a 100% crit strike chance if you haven't dealt a crit recently. And as you can see, we don't do any attacks ourselves, right? Nothing that we do ourselves hits the enemy. So it's either our Ballista, it's our Falcon, and that's it, right? So nothing else does any damage. So we're never technically critting. So we have 100% crit strike chance because we have not crit recently, right? And so normally that would come with the downside of having less crit strike chance if you have, but we never do. So we pretty much just have 100% crit chance all the time, which is nice. And then you want to get one of these with LP if you can. And I had one with 1 LP. It was the first one I found. It took me a lot of runs to even get one. I think I ran that thing probably like 30 times before I ever got one, maybe more than that. And I got one with an Exalted Mana Regen amulet, and I hit it, and I just happened to get lucky and put Mana Regen on there. So I was very happy about that. So that covers the gear. Idols I'm just using to fill out my resistances. As you can see, I don't even have them like capped yet. So I'm working on getting some better idols. But this one right here is probably like a GG, like what you would be looking for ideally if you get like super GG gear and don't need your resistances. Something like this, which would be like 25% crit multi and minion crit multi. And then some armor shred effect is nice too. So the reason we want this one right here is because I believe our minions double dip into our crit multi somewhere in one of these trees. I can't remember exactly where it is, but it might be on one of our skills. Is it this one? Yeah, right here. So basically our Ballista gets our crit strike chance and our crit multiplier ratio. So what we do here is this thing double dips, right? Because it gets its own minion crit multi, and then it also gets our crit multi. So it's 40% crit multi for the Ballista right there, which is absolutely huge. Okay, and then I'm not going to go super in depth on the passives. I'll just kind of show what I have here. Just put 20 points in here to fill this one out, and then I put 8 points in here for the dex. 8 points in here for dex, and then the rest is just in the falconer tree, just getting basic, falconer type shit, dex, falcon throwing damage, more dex, all this stuff. So like if you guys want to, just pause it and look. It's very important here not to put 5 points into this. We don't want to lose our block chance, so we want to only have 4 points in here. That is one thing that I will say is important. Other than that, that covers all of the gear, the skills, the passives. I guess we can go over the blessings that I'm using. I think that there are better ones. There's one that has like mana. You would want the mana one. Other than that, though, I think mine are pretty okay. Shred cold res, minion damage is good. Crit strike avoidance is good, and then crit multi is good too. So you can just look on there though and see. I think the only one that's really good that I don't have is the mana, and I think that's this one. I could be wrong though. But anyway, think I'm gonna leave the video there. Like I said, I will put a link to Chadley's Falconer build down below, as well as Palsteron's video on this too. I think the gear that I have in this is pretty similar to what he had in the video, and the build's just super fun to play. So if you guys want to give it a shot, go for it. Leave any comments or questions that you have down in the comment section below. If you could, drop a like on the video. You'd be a legend, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.